Hi and welcome. We're the Weasley sisters. This is episode 182. I'm Jessica, aka Naturally Nitty.
And I'm Alina, also known as Starness. Today is September 15th, Madison's birthday. This is our weekly podcast. If this is the first time watching, we're always on time. If you are a returning listener, thanks for coming back, and you know that I just totally lied.
Yeah, but we've been doing good this month. This is our third one.
In a row.
Every week. I'm proud of us.
I am too.
So, grab your knitting or spinning and craft along with us. Or crochet or whatever else you want to do.
Yeah, we're multi-craftual in this podcast.
Totally.
So, Mojo.
I finished that dishcloth I was making last week.
Ooh, that's fancy. That's a very bright dishcloth.
It is. I still need to weave in the ends. It's very happy. And there's been a couple times when I was going to grab it and, use it, but I didn't weave in the ends, and I didn't take a picture of it yet, so I didn't.
Yeah.
That's all I have, though, for knitting and crochet-wise.
I have none.
Okay.
That is going to be quick.
Any whips? I have none.
I do have some. So, I am still working on my test knit. I'm on the last chart.
Yay.
I'm almost done. Look at how fancy that is.
I really like that thing. You keep posting pictures of it here and there on, Instagram and stuff, and I love it.
So I'm doing the last chart, which will make it pointy or whatever. So I'm excited. Yeah, I really like this one too. I love Fairy Tale Knits. She's Dawn is an amazing person. I love her. She's so nice and so friendly. And she dyes so beautifully. And the colors, I just love the colors. Okay. Next up, I have been making a fox for Bella.
Have you been working on it, actually?
Yeah, look.
Yay.
I need to stuff it. So I'm modifying this pattern. This pattern here. And now this is a Japanese book. Let me find the picture of it. So it's a bear with kissy lips, I guess. But I'm modifying the pattern. So what I'm doing, I'm following everything. The nose is going to be different. I'm going to make it more pointy and just have a pointy nose. And the ears I'm going to make triangular. And then I'm going to give it a bushy, but crocheted tail. It's not going to be bushy. It's just going to be fat. So, but the feet and the arms are all going to be the same. And, the body is the same except for the colors. And this is his stomach. And I was working on it this weekend, but I'm decreasing, and you have to count for that, so I needed something that you didn't have to count for. And another modification is I didn't seal off the body. I just kept going because I'm lazy like that, and I didn't feel like sewing on a head. So that's what I'm working on. I have it in all of the yarn and stuff. I just want to show this as a little in one of my extra large project bags. I love it. It fits everything and the pattern book. This was a scratch and dent one that I had in the scratch and dent file, and no one bought it for a bunch of shows. So I was I really like that fabric. Even though it's orange, I like the retro witch part of it. But anyways, that's all I'm working on though.
Cool.
So, yeah.
My stupid screen froze again. I'm sorry if this is freezing on you guys that are watching. moving on. I have no whips, so you spin me right round.
I'm not spinning anything.
I am.
I have longingly looked at my wheel, though.
Okay.
If that counts, which I say it does.
Sure, it does. I am currently, right this second, spinning on my drop spindle, my Turtle Maid, and I'm still doing these roll lags. I've been doing these for like ever. I think I started at Christmas when we went, on our Christmas vacation when we went to Colorado.
Which was really in February or something.
January, I think.
January. Yes, which I saw Jen this weekend, and she has some like really cool new like this middle part. It's like a marble look. Ooh. It looks really cool. It looks like they look like clay, but it's 3D printed. It's amazing.
That is cool. I love my Turtle Maid. I have wheels, so I don't need more, but I've always thought about getting a couple more because they're just so darn cute and fun to take around.
Yeah. She has this, also this cool thing that it looks like licorice, like the pull-apart licorice on a platform. And it's a distaff, really, for winding your fiber around. And then it has this, like, plastic thing that you hang it from your wrist so the fiber doesn't get all over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And someone came, this is just a thing, someone came through this past weekend and was like, oh, you know what I like to do with that? And she took her cake of yarn, shoved it in the, so the hole, and then she can walk around carrying her yarn cake.
That's cool.
And she was like, I actually like to sit it in my yarn bowl and then just pull it like that so it just sits there. I'm like, that's really cool. And Jen was like, that's amazing. I didn't even think of that. So,
does she have those in her Etsy shop?
I do not know because I only saw her vendor show.
Right.
But she'll be at Shenandoah Valley Fiber Festival in 2 weeks too.
Cool.
So I can ask her, or we could just go to her website and
look. Cool. So apart from this, I finally got out of my little crafting funk, which
lasted for a long time.
I just haven't been wanting to. Not that I don't like it, but I don't know. I haven't been. Anyways, I pulled out, let me get my pictures. I pulled out some fiber that I got from Younger Yarn, which is Picasha.
She doesn't do it anymore, does she?
She doesn't dye fiber anymore, but she used to do clubs and stuff. And I had bought, she had two different, it was like, I don't know if it was a club or just like a pre-order thing, but she dyed up these fibers, and she had two pictures, and like, so this was one set.
Yeah.
And, this was another set.
I love her dyeing. I'm sad that she doesn't do it anymore. And I used to love her fiber.
Yeah, she always did a great job.
Like, I think I still have some that I need to pull out.
I still have a few left of her stuff. Anyways, it's Shetland. So I think the main thing I wanted to do, I think it was so you could do like Fair Isle, spin and knit your own like Fair Isle.
Oh yeah.
Sets of whatever, because Shetland is good for that kind of stuff. So I began spinning all of it.
At once.
Well, one at a time. But I filled up 8 or 7 bobbins. Either way, so now I have them in little cakes because I'm having a plying party right now. So these ones still need to be plied.
Are you plying them together or by
separately.
themselves?
So these are plied.
Okay.
Already.
So you're plying them to each other, themselves?
Yeah, on themselves from a cake. So I have a 2-ply.
Okay.
And then I'm plying this one currently. But yeah, so I've spun up, I don't even know, I think they were 6 ounces for each set. So I spun all the singles. And then what I actually did, because each grouping of color, or the batch, had like 2 of the gray ones, I just put it all on one.
Yeah.
Because they weren't equal amounts of fiber. Like some of them, like this is obviously more than this.
Yeah.
But anyways, so there was like 2 smaller things of gray, so then I just did it all in one. But I think it's gonna be fun, and then I'm gonna find some sort of pattern for hat or mittens or something, and do some Fair Isle with handspun.
How much yardage do you think you're gonna have?
Oh, a good amount, I would say. It's pretty fine.
Yeah, so you're gonna make just
Probably fingering, maybe a little thicker, like a heavy fingering. Like hats, or you know how they have some like the sheep hats or mittens. I don't know. I'll find something and make something cool. I don't know if I'll use all the colors or keep them separate. You know, like how they were dyed. Excuse me. But yeah, it's been fun and I've enjoyed it. And Shetland isn't like the nicest fiber or softest, but I don't know. I think it's fun to not
that reminds me
spin slippery things all the time, or really,
right.
Like it has a really nice grab to it, and I was kind of doing not long, well, like a modified long draw, but like really letting the fiber kind of just spin itself. It was just really enjoyable. So yeah, it kind of got me out of my funk and back into spinning, and I love the colors. They're fun.
They are really bright and pretty.
Yeah.
One thing that reminds me of, I had someone who was asking about wool, and I was telling them about my Fleece and Fiber source book, and I felt like a total nerd, because this lady who was asking me is like a farmer around here, and she was asking if like it was desirable and blah blah blah. Like she was asking me about Blueface Leicester, how do we say it? Leicester. Anyways, she was asking me about them and if their wool was desirable, etc. And I was like, well, I know this, and like I was like texting her, and I was like reading through it to like send it, and I was like, that kind of is like total nerdy. So I like went back, because I like went into the micron count, and I'm like, she probably doesn't care about that. And so I was like, some of it's nice and some of it's good. It's good to learn on. It is desirable. It holds color well.
It's shiny.
Yeah, so I was just like I just like edited it a little bit. But I told her I was going to take a picture of my book page to share with her. That reminds me that I need to do that. But yes, that's cool. I'm really wanting to spin now.
Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was fun. Oh, where'd you go?
Sorry.
There you are.
I got a text.
Hello.
I thought it would turn. I didn't think it would turn off.
That's okay. So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing.
That's awesome. I
don't know where I'm going to be turning them in, though. I guess I could break them up and hand in different skeins for different classes.
Well, and you were spinning, so like you could turn it in for the repetition thing.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Because you were doing it all the same. If you wanted to turn it all in for one big crack.
Yeah.
But yeah, so spinning, that makes me want to spin big time.
You should. But cool. All right, moving on. Sewing. Have you been sewing like a madwoman?
Okay, so I had my show on. I sewed a bunch after we podcasted last. I had my show on this weekend, and I got home, and then I had to do all my like intake stuff, is what I'll call it. And I keep needing to get in here and sew, but I have so much stuff going on, I haven't been able to sew. I did, however, buy new fabric to make a bunch of fabric baskets for Shenandoah Valley. And I use that as my working Wednesday with Star Knits. That's my little 5 to 10 minute show on my Facebook page, on my Star Knits Facebook page. And I showed all of them. There's some really cool ones. I got this really cool one that's like coffee cups, like different cups. It's like blue and brown-ish, and or grayish brown. And it has like coffee cups and then like different labels of like coffee and tea and stuff, like Americano, latte, stuff like that. It's really cool. So I'm excited about that one.
That's good.
But I actually haven't been sewing in the past couple of days, and it's like stressing me out. Like, I'm, like, waking up at night stressed out. So, yeah.
Well, hopefully you can get some of that in.
Yeah. I hope to. Well, I have a Jamberry show party tonight, so it won't be tonight. Unless I stay up really late. But I think, like, my surgery being not that long ago really has...
Sorry about that. Technical difficulties.
Yeah, so really I just think, like, my surgery has really affected, like, I'm still, like, recovering, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty tired, so...
And having a couple shows in a row will do that to you, too.
Yeah, that, too.
Well, cool. Binging. I've been watching Switch to Birth.
Oh, is that good?
It's a cute. I mean, it's like a family show, teen drama, but it also has, you know, like parent stuff going on too. It's cute. I'd watched like the first season or two like a while ago. Maybe when it first came on Netflix. But there's a new season, so I was like rewatching to get caught up.
That's cool. I am still listening to that book I started last podcast because I haven't done much more, right? I was doing Dying Bites or something like that. So I haven't done much since then. I did, however, sit down and start watching Supergirl.
I saw that was new on there. Is it good?
At first I wasn't sure if I would like it, but I actually do. Like, if you like The Flash, you're gonna like Supergirl because it's kind of like a Superman type. It's kind of like a funny, if that makes sense. You know how Flash is like funny, whereas Arrow is like dark.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it. We watched the first two, and I think Bella liked it as well because Bella was with me.
Sweet.
So yeah.
Yeah. I've also watched a little bit more of Limitless. I haven't finished it completely. I've been like show hopping, like from different shows here.
Yeah.
And watching. Which whatever. I had to take a break from Grey's Anatomy. I think it was like way too much drama, and sadness and stuff. And I was just like, So
I took a break in between season 1 and 2 because I was so annoyed when Addison came in.
Just wait. Good golly. Like, seriously, I think I stopped on season 6.
I think I'm on season 3.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I had to stop before my surgery, so I haven't watched it really since.
Yeah, I could see how you did that.
Gee.
So we're kind of on randomness, and this is going to be like the shortest
podcast ever!
Yeah.
We win!
I'm in the middle of making some tomato sauce. Well, actually, Joe started it, but I'm going to have to can it in a little bit.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, we've been doing little bits here and there. And then our friends that have, we call it the farm, where we go apple picking, like the apples are starting to be ready. So soon we'll be canning apples and applesauce and stuff like that.
Fun.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that.
I
Can you talk about your show?
Yeah, I had my show, and it was a lot of fun. So the first day it was, like, super hot. Like, I was knitting, but it was that hot, like, just standing there, you're sweating, and it was, like, muggy. So, like, hot I can deal with, but the mugginess, not fun. And, then the second day, like, it rained, and it was so much nicer. It's not even funny how much nicer it was. So, yeah, but it was a lot of fun. A lot of people came through. I didn't sell out of anything, if that makes sense. Like, I still have stuff for Shenandoah Valley in 2 weeks. Or
That's good.
It's not this weekend, but the next weekend. So, yeah, I was excited. I had a lot of fun. I always have fun at them. Madison came with me. and she like hung out with Dawn's daughter Tori. So it was cool.
That's awesome.
So it was a lot of fun. So then we're there, and the people across from me, I'm going to take you on a little trip. The people across from me had rabbits for sale. And Bella has been wanting a rabbit since the fair, and I said no, because they were just regular rabbits.
You're going to have a rabbit, you need one that you can spin from.
Right. And then she was like, well, I want a guinea pig. And I was like, for her birthday, because her birthday's in October. And I was like, I don't know. So the people across from us had Angora bunnies for sale. So we got a bunny.
He's so
this
cute.
Is Lucius Malfoy. He's a little dirty.
He's so fluffy.
Yeah, he's like super sweet. See if I can pet him.
Aww.
But yeah, so we have to like groom him and stuff. And yeah, we named him Lucius Malfoy. I don't know what his real name was. But the people who had him, her kid was the one who like showed him at the fair.
Okay.
At their fair. And so he's like really people friendly.
That's awesome.
And that's the whole reason why I'm using my phone to podcast, so I could show you guys our new rabbit. So it was Bella's birthday. Like I told Andy, I'm like, if they have him still at the end of the fair, should I get him? And I like sent him a picture, and he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. Because it's really cheap. Because normally they're like $150 or whatever. And she was like, I have too many. I need to get rid of them. I'll sell it for $50. So I was like, sold. Because, like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we got him, and he's like only about a year old. And we're brushing. We've been like combing him a little bit, like just so he doesn't really know us, so he's a little nervous about stuff.
Yeah.
But
what does Abby think of it?
She keeps trying. We have been keeping the gate up so she can't get in there because she likes to chase rabbits, and she's like so excited. But we don't want her to hurt him.
Right.
So we've been keeping them separated. Like, we've let her smell it, but she, like, kind of freaks out, and it's really annoying.
Oh.
Not, like, freaks out, but, like...
Happy,
and
happy
it's really
freaking out.
But, yeah, so that's good. But she was so excited, and, like, on the way home, she was like, can I have more pictures of the rabbit? And so we stopped to get coffee, and I took a couple of pictures for her, and she was like, I love him already. And she hadn't even seen him.
That's
like
awesome.
She hadn't even like met him. And then she was like crying the other day because she was trying to brush him by his feet, and there's a few mats down there. And the previous owner had said she just trimmed it. So he was upset, and I was like, well, Bella, he's a little hot, and he's been out for a while. He might need some alone time. So she put him back, and she was like, he's running away from me in the cage. And I'm like, he just wants to be alone right now. It'll be okay. He doesn't like, she was like dramatic. Like this morning, she made Madison breakfast, but not really. She like poured cereal for herself and then decided she was going to give it to Madison for her birthday. And Madison was like, I don't want cereal. And she started, like, crying over it. I was like, oh, my gosh.
I shouldn't laugh.
Yeah. But anyways, that is my life. So, yeah, so we got a bunny, and he's an English Angora. So, some people, like, we've watched some YouTubes, like, they shave them. But the lady we got him from, she said she just combed them.
Okay.
So, it's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah, so, and then Madison's birthday is today, and we were going to get her contacts. So I had made the appointment a couple of weeks ago. I'm so annoyed. I made the appointment a couple of weeks ago, And then we went and it was yesterday. So we went in and we do the appointment, and they're like, okay, she has to take a class to learn how to put in her contacts. And I'm like...
For real? You just shove it in your eye, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm like, okay, so can you just teach her it so she can walk out with contacts? Because I'm paying for the appointment out of pocket because it's not covered by our insurance. And she was like, the first time we have for this class is October 1st. I'm like, what? I'm like, when I scheduled this appointment, you knew I was coming in for contacts. Why didn't we schedule it at the same time? This is all I have. The lady the person who teaches it isn't supposed to be here. She was like over there fooling around, like working. She's not supposed to be here, so she can't really teach it. I'm like, can't you just show her it, like, right now? 15, she's like, well, I'm the only one here. She's not supposed to be here. And I was like, are you kidding me? For 3 weeks. Like, we need it for soccer. Soccer's going to be over before she gets it. And I was like, that's ridiculous. Why didn't you schedule it the same time when I scheduled this appointment 3 weeks ago? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, well, do you work with the other Walmart? Do they have a class at the Walmart in the next city over? Can we go there for the class? And the lady was like, I'll go ask. And I was like really pissed off because I hate doing things twice. Like, if you're scheduling something and you know that she has to take a class, you should schedule it the same time. Or make sure that the person who teaches you how to use contacts is there. And I was like, well, can you just show her and then I work with her? Because I have worn contacts since I was 13.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. And, like, we'd even talked to the doctor, and she was like, blah, blah, blah. So this other lady that teaches the class was on, like, a super power trip. Like, she was probably annoyed because I was, like, really pissed off. I was like, are you kidding me? Why didn't you tell me this when I scheduled the appointment? Like, I was, like, that mad.
I would be,
And, she was like, it's a liability thing. And I'm like, I understand that, and I don't mind you, taking the extra time, but what I do mind is that it's 3 weeks from now, and I was just really annoyed because they could have scheduled it together, basically, is my whole issue. And then, so she goes back to ask her, because I'm thinking that the reason she went back to ask her if she could work with the other Walmart is they have done it, but I think by that point, the other lady was on, like, a power trip and was like, we're going to make her wait. So she was like, no. And I was like, fine. What time? I was, like, really pissed off. Like, so pissed off. And then, so I'm, like, so upset because, like, I'm paying for this. This is not covered by insurance. So I'm paying, like, out of pocket. So, that's why I picked the Walmart optometrist, because it's cheaper. And basically it's the only place really to go unless you want to go to Drive. But because they've, like, so there's, like, nothing I can do about it. And they're like, well, she has to go with her doctor. And I was like, it's not the doctor that's teaching her how to put it in. It's you, who, I'm guessing they're, like, a lab tech. They're not an optometrist, but they wear white coats.
What all are they going to teach her, though? Like, you hold it and you put it in. Like, I don't understand.
Some people can't put it in their eye.
It's not going to blow up if you don't put it on. I don't know.
I know. And I was thinking, like, I was so pissed. So then I posted, like, an angry picture on Facebook because I was really pissed and mad. And I felt bad because it, like, ruined her birthday. That was her birthday present, like, getting contacts. And I was like, I was so pissed off. And then someone else told me, like, the other Walmart that I had asked to go to, they're like, oh, they let her walk out with them, like, their daughter. I was like, this is ridiculous. And I'm like, you don't have any other option for this. Like, seriously? I was so mad. So I'm going to go in next time I'm up that way, I'm going to go in and get my prescription written. And when we go back in 3 weeks, I'm going to get her prescription written. And we're not going to be going back there because they should not be treating us that way. Like, regardless of their policies, they should have told us up front that she would have to come back. She wouldn't be able to. They should have just scheduled at the same time.
Yeah.
And they should have tried to work with us instead of saying, oh no, it's in 3 weeks is the first time we have. I'm like, there's no way that they couldn't like outsource us, or they're like, well, we schedule it for an hour. And I'm like, yeah, so when that takes 15 minutes, I was just so annoyed. I was like, ugh. So yeah, so I'm just not going to shop there anymore. I mean, I will go into Walmart because there's like only Walmart here in Johnstown, but I mean, we're not going to be using their optometrist there anymore. Well, I mean, I'll just have to drive somewhere because that's ridiculous. They should not be like, you know, like I'm paying money for this. They should be treating us better and at least try to work with us to make it work better, because I was like, she needs it for soccer.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which really, I think her needing it for soccer, the insurance should cover it, but insurance is a joke too, so.
Anyways, speaking of sports.
That's my rant. I'm done.
The boys, both Truben and Gabe, signed up for flag football this year.
Woo.
Yeah, fun stuff. So they had their first game yesterday, both of them. And actually, backtrack that. So they had practice last week. Actually, this week, on Monday. And Truben's coach is British. Totally awesome. Really? But, so he comes, I wasn't in the car, or I wasn't with him. I took Gabe to his. They were at the exact same time on opposite ends of town. So it's totally awesome. Luckily, Joe had off that day. Anyways, he went with Truben, and after he's done, Truben comes back, and he's like, he's like an inch or two British.
An inch or two?
Yeah, I don't know. He, like, says the funniest things sometimes, and it cracks me up. Or Leah, she, this is, like, totally out of nowhere, but she was referring to, I think some YouTuber who looked like a guy in One Direction. I don't know which one, because I don't know the difference between them all. Anyways, but then she referred to, I think it was that guy or people or someone having 1D skin, like nice skin or something. I'm like, what? And I geeked out for like, it was like at bedtime the other night, and like I just laughed so much for like 5 minutes straight.
Hilarious.
I'm like, 1D skin, nice. It's like, I don't know.
That's fancy.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the football. So it was funny, watching Truben play. He was, like, so hyped up and, like, jittery and, like, bouncing all over the place. He's never played an organized football game before, so yeah, it was humorous. Yeah, and Gabe played too, and they totally lost because the kid on a different team was, like, 6 foot tall and like a foot taller than everyone else. Well, because his team is from like 6th to 8th grade, so.
Oh, so you've got the tall kids.
Well, I mean, Gabe's in 8th grade, but he's tiny. But like this kid was ginormous. Like he was taller than his own coach, and like when they'd stand in a huddle, he's seriously like a shoulder and head above the rest of his teammates. I'm like, this is insane.
That's serious.
Yeah, but. Yeah, anyways, it's fun to watch them do stuff. But yeah, sports season, yay. But that means I'm bringing my spindle along and spinning places and doing stuff.
That's fun, though.
How long does Madison's soccer game or season go?
Just till, like, October, like that first or second week of October. So yeah, I'm not ignoring you. I have a jamboree party tonight, so I'm getting my jams on hands. I like have all of the stuff in the catalog printed with pictures on hand so people can look at them, because it's so much easier to see them than to. Sometimes
they look way different on hands than they do just on the wraps.
Yeah, and I'm updating it because I am a big time procrastinator, and the show was tonight, so
No, that's cool.
But yeah, but that's all that I had.
All right.
So.
All right. Well, then we will say goodbye, and hopefully we'll see you guys in a week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.